Hello, Odooers! Today, we're adding an exciting new vehicle to our fleet. I'll show you step by step how we do that in Odoo, so let's hop right into our database. Let's go ahead and start on our fleet dashboard. If we go to the configuration subheading and click on manufacturers, you'll see that Odoo has a ton of vehicle manufacturers. Notice how a lot of these say 0 models, while some have a number? That's because Odoo has already a few models pre-configured, but we can always add models manually. Let's take a look at the models by clicking on the configuration subheading and then models. When I click on the drop-down menu for a manufacturer like Audi, we can see the pre-configured models Odoo automatically adds to the database when Fleet is installed. So we can add manufacturers and models from here, but I'm going to show you how to do that on the fly when we add a new vehicle to our fleet. So let's go back to the fleet dashboard by clicking on the fleet subheading and fleet. Now let's click new. The first thing we need to choose is our vehicle model. And I don't seem to see our model, so let's click on search more. And I don't see it here either, so let's go ahead and click on the new button. This brings us to the vehicle model form. For the model, let's put Golf R. And for the manufacturer, let's put Volkswagen. And would you look at that, Odooers? The logo automatically appears because this manufacturer was already preloaded into the database by default. And the vehicle type looks correct. The Golf R is a car. And for the category, let's select midsize. Now let's fill in the details for the model. This model has 5 seats and 4 doors. And for the color, let's put black because black is always in style. And the year is going to be 2023. Awesome. Now we have the engine section. Let's scroll down a little bit more so we can see all of it. And this section may have some tax and other financial implications, depending on where your company is located. So be sure this information is accurate and complete. Make sure to check in with your car manufacturer if you're unsure. I'll just quickly fill out my engine info off screen. Awesome. All of my engine information is filled in. So let's go to the Vendors tab and add who we bought this car from. Let's click Add and select Best Cars, a trusty dealership where we get all our vehicles from. Let's select it and hit Save and Close. Now let's fill out everything else we know about the car. We'll enter in our license plate, Odoo123, and let's add some tags. I'm going to select Employee Car. Tags help me search for specific cars later on. If you need to add a tag that doesn't exist, just type it into this field and click Create. Let's create a midsize tag. Now, let's move on to the driver information. In the driver field, let's select Mike Speedway. And since I already know who will take over the car after Mike, I'll go ahead and select Charlene as the future driver. When I add a name to the future driver field, this button called Apply New Driver appears at the top of the page. When I am ready for Charlene to take over this vehicle, I can click Apply New Driver and the record will update. Now for the vehicle information. The category filled in when we configured the model. For the ordered date, we just ordered this bad boy on the 1st of the month, so let's go ahead and put that in. And the registration date automatically fills in with today's date, but we registered it on the day we ordered it, so let's change that to the 1st of the month as well. The cancellation date doesn't apply now since this is the date we surrendered the plates. The chassis number, or so we like to call the VIN number in the States, is 12345678890. Next, in the last odometer field, let's set it to 85. And in the dropdown, let's change the odometer from kilometers to miles since my company is based in the US. And for the fleet manager, I'll put myself. Lastly, in the location, I'll specify where this car is located, which is the SF main office. Now let's go into the tax info tab. Let's scroll down a little bit. Here you'll need to consult with your accounting department to know what you can enter in these fields. Various taxes can change not only from country to country, but from state to state. So I'll leave this blank for this video. If I click into the Model tab, you'll notice everything we filled in for the model has populated in this tab. Nothing to enter here unless we want to add a trailer hitch. Something tells me this little guy isn't hauling anything. Now, we need to make a new contract, so let's go ahead and click on our Contract Smart button at the top and click New. In the reference field, let's call this Mike Speedway Gulf R contract. And for the type, we'll select leasing. And the vendor, as always, is Best Cars. The start date is today by default, and the contract's expiration date will default to a year from today's date. But I can edit it too, which I'll do. I'm going to change both of these to January 1st. Okay, now let's go under the cost heading, and in the activation cost field, let's put $250. And for the recurring cost, let's put it to $500. I can also set it to no reoccurring costs or daily, weekly, monthly, or yearly. We'll make ours monthly since this is what we owe each month. And again, this all started on January 1st, so we'll enter that in the date field. Awesome. Now if we go back to our vehicle using the breadcrumbs, we'll see that our smart button at the top shows that we now have one contract. Oh, and see our odometer smart button? This automatically updated when we added our odometer readings to this form. This will update every time we update the mileage. Let's say Mike just finished a trip and reported an updated mileage. We can just click New and type in a new mileage. Let's do 150. And when we go back to the vehicle via the breadcrumbs, we can see that the smart button updated. Okay, one last thing, Odooers. Let's go back to our fleet dashboard via the breadcrumbs. And I forgot to change the state of this car. It's registered and on the road, so let's drag and drop it to the registered Kanban stage. And just like that, our new car is added and everything is set. And there you have it. Adding cars to our fleet is pretty easy, and making sure all our information is accurate and up to date is crucial for our fleet. Thanks for watching, and now go grab a snack.